This is the most insane Stranger Things theory, but it could genuinely be true. In basic terms, the theory is that Vecna created Will and Will created Vecna. Will's powers, we know, is basically him tapping into the hive mind. Obviously everything connected to Dimension X and the hive mind, which Will and Henry are both connected to. Now, there's a lot of talk that time travel is going to be a big part in part 2 of season 5. A lot of mentions, a lot of diagrams, but here's where it gets real. First of all, we know how Henry got powers, which was as a young boy going into these caves, being transported to Dimension X, which then led him to the Mind Flayer and changed his blood, and that's how he got his powers. But what if Will accidentally tapped Henry into the hive mind? This is where the crossover comes, because what we saw at the ending of part 1 was very similar to old Bran Stark here. And they actually almost have similar powers, where he can tap into the animals, see through the eyes of them, like Will see through the eyes of the Demogorgon. Not to mention the crossover as well with the Night King and Vecna, with them literally both rising their hands and bringing the dead back to life as well. Although this would be a very interesting choice considering the outrage, how this ended. Now, obviously, Holly and Max are trapped inside Vecna's memories, but Will can also tap into that essentially because, you know, he's involved with the hive mind and can see Vecna's memories. But what if there's a way that they can actually change things that happened by being inside these memories? As I say, we're fairly confident there's going to be something to do with time travel coming in Volume 2. So what if Will goes into Henry's memories to try and help find Max and Holly, but stumbles across the moment Henry entered the cave for the first time and can actually interfere with the memory? Will's just got his powers, doesn't know what he's doing, so can actually interfere with this memory. Henry can't see anything, he just sees the particles from the Mind Flayer, which would make sense. And Will there essentially infects the particles and creates that evil in Henry in that moment, and Will did it. And that's exactly the reason why he's so scared of these caves, because he has no idea what happened to him. He didn't see anybody. It would make sense and be a literal Hodor moment, Hold the Door from Game of Thrones, where Bran basically created Hodor and it was like a whole time travel thing. But also this links in why is Henry aka Vecna so obsessed with Will? Maybe it's similar to Hodor. He always hears hold the door, hold the door, hold the door, which is why he's called Hodor. Maybe Henry always heard something like Will, knowing that that name was important to him, not knowing why, but he's trying to find out. A hold the door kind of ending could be kind of cool and make sense, but let me know your thoughts. There's a lot more to it.